My grandpa was always great to me, and one thing I think anybody could agree on was that everywhere he went, he never failed to leave a memory behind. I love you, Grandpa.
Over the years that I've known Grandpa, one thing has stood out to me, and that is he's a hard worker. And because of his hard work, we have a beautiful fort down in our woods to remember him by. I love you, Grandpa.
When I think about Grandpa, I always think about how good a friend he was. He always said stuff to me like, "Man, that Andrew, I know I could be a good friend to that Andrew." But I think one thing that he missed was he already was one of my best friends. One of the closest people to me, in fact, one of my oldest friends. He was one of the only people that was there when I was born. So I think this is where I say goodbye, Grandpa. But it's not a long, ultimate goodbye, but it's the kind of goodbye that I've said to you all of these years when you visited us or when we visited Canada. When it was time to say goodbye, it was more of a "we'll see you soon, I love you" kind of goodbye. So this is goodbye, Grandpa. I love you.
I have many memories with Grandpa, from shooting my first squirrel to helping him fix things around the kitchen. But my favorite memories with Grandpa were when he used to take us out into the woods for hikes. We used to go out for hours and go for miles. From memories of going to Rock Island to going to the park, they will always have a special place in my heart. I was and always will be Grandpa's little boy. I love you, Grandpa.
I have many great memories of Grandpa. He devoted so much time to my life. I really think my favorite memory, though, of him is how many times he took us hiking in the woods, whether it was here home or up there in Canada. But particularly, I always liked when we went down into our woods, and we have this old dead tree down there. We always tried to push it over. Took us probably a good decade to do it, but we eventually succeeded, and it was pretty cool. And I also remember him doing morning exercises, which actually, believe it or not, I was actually really excited to do because I wanted to prove I could do more push-ups than him. But I don't think I really ever succeeded. He always was very encouraging and encouraging me to give out Bible tracts and stuff. And he always went out of his way to make sure I had some to give back on the way home. And I don't think I'm alone in saying that he was one of the most influential people in my life. Just thank you, Grandpa. I love you.
It's been a difficult year for everybody. As if the pain of losing someone as important to us as Bob wasn't hard enough, it was certainly compounded by the fact that I couldn't be there with my wife and to see Bob, and that roughly half of his grandkids didn't get that last chance to hug him or comb his hair or to get bulldogged one more time. While it doesn't seem right or fair, we trust the sovereignty of our loving eternal Father. You may be wondering why I'm sitting on the bathroom floor. This was the last thing we did together, this floor. And if you knew Bob at all, you know he could do just about anything. I can't go into a room in my house without seeing something that Bob did, whether it's a ceiling fan or a light fixture, a floor, or a dozen other things. The morning he left West Virginia for the last time, almost a year ago now, he was taking care of caulking and putting the final touches on this floor after I'd already gone to work. Bob loved his family. He invested hours and hours in my house, but more importantly, he invested hours and hours in my children. Bob loved Jesus. If there was one theme I'm confident will be reoccurring in this memorial, and as we remember Bob for years to come, it's that he loved Jesus. He was always grateful for his salvation and always prepared to share the reason for the hope that was within him. It has been my absolute pleasure to be his son by marriage for 23 years, and I still am. Nothing will ever change that. I'll always be his son by marriage, and I'll always love you, Bob.
Grandpa was always one of the godliest people I ever knew. He always carried his Bible around with him wherever he went, and he invested so much time and love into not just me and my family, but everyone around him. I always will love the memories I had of combing his hair every time he came, and he always wanted me to learn the hymn Unworthy. It was his favorite hymn, and I finally had the honor of playing it for him before he passed, and now I'm gonna play it again for you. I love you, Grandpa.